Thank you.
Thank you so much for obliging us.
You're welcome.
So, for starters, we would like to know you, and the viewers would particularly want to know you as what you do for a living, and you as well. So, we'll start with you, Mr. Tunji. What do you do for a living?
Thank you very much. I'm an IT consultant.
Okay.
I've been doing this now, shall I say, for too long. To be specific, 26 years running.
Okay. All right, madam. So it's next. You next. What do you do for a living?
Bottom line, entrepreneur. Because I do a whole lot.
So let's go into the business of the day, which is about love, relationship, and marriage. We'll start off with the question of how married life has been like for you.
Very good question. Let me say that I couldn't have prayed or wished for anything better.
Oops.
It is the most wonderful thing when you are married to somebody who's your friend. And I always say to people, don't marry for looks, don't marry for money, don't marry for all these things, because they can come, they can go. But when you marry somebody who is your friend, who knows your moves even before you make them, then it brings a lot of joy into the home.
So for you, how has married life been like?
Married life. Extremely challenging, and it's something that has like brought out, it keeps bringing out what you don't think you have, what you don't know you have, because it's your imagination runs wide, your ability to create, your ability to make do when there's so much and when there's little, or when there's absolutely nothing.
That brings me to the next question of how you met.
Yeah, I met my wife through a friend sometime in 1988. I had just come back from a trip from the United States, and he had pumped me up and excited me about how wonderful she is. Let me say categorically, he was not wrong, even though all that didn't show up that very day. But I've been able to confirm that over the years, what the gentleman had said, and the story is what we are uncovering today. So it's been quite a journey, really.
Do you share the same opinion as he does?
In terms of
how you met?
Oh, well, yeah, we met through his friend.
Mutual
who
friend.
Was a mutual friend. Chris Anukam, actually.
Oh, great.
Chris, and Chris went on with, he calls me Charlie Baby, Charlie Baby, you're going to like this guy. And I'm like, I think I just want to go out. So if your friend's coming along, why not? And then one thing led to another. And he's a wonderful guy. We have our issues, but by and large, he's a wonderful guy.
Good. Good. So, you met him on that first date.
Yeah.
And you thought him as, you just saw him as, you perceived him as a wonderful guy. That first date.
Yeah, he was, that first day, I saw him first, I got very intimidated with his height. That first day. I was like, oh my God, you are tall and big.
So he's always been big.
Yeah, And then, but talking to him was just so gentlemanly, took me for a walk by the pool. Considering where I'm coming from, I'm Benin. I'm very down to earth, very local. And he was coming from a Tucha environment. I said, oh, okay, let's see how this works out. But I didn't have marriage in mind.
Speaking of dating, what was courtship like?
In the 80s and the early 90s to the mid 90s, my business required that I travel. So I lived a lot of my time, 2 weeks in Nigeria, 2 weeks having to travel abroad, several hours in the plane. So it was always exciting coming back, knowing that somebody you truly care for was waiting for you. And we had this, well, there was no restaurant in Lagos that we did not visit. There is no fun place we will not travel to. There is no hotel that is grandeur in this nation that we will not go every weekend. So it was a whole lot of fun, you know. I was younger, I was vibrant. What else do you do with all those energy?
I feel you. So you just listen to him.
Yeah.
So you know, earlier on you talked about marriage wasn't really, you know, in the plates. But I want to know how he proposed. We'll start off with how the relationship, you know, spanned into that strong emotional bond that, you know, necessitated you walking down the aisle. That first, and then you would tell us how he proposed.
Did you propose?
I don't know about propose. We were sufficiently close enough and we dated for so long that this was just the right time to do the right thing. And I was a wonderful guy. Who would
Excuse
want
me?
to marry me then, you know what I mean? So the essence of proposition is to know whether the person wants to marry you. She was ready to move in, so what are we talking about?
Excuse me?
Excuse me, man. I mean, you have a wonderful guy. You are saying he's tall, he's good looking, he has money. I was living in the GRA as a 20-something-year-old. You are from Benin. Excuse me. What are we talking about? You know.
Oh my God.
But we were sufficiently close. We were very, very close. We were best of friends. And all my friends, I can't talk for her friends, knew that I was going to marry her. Just that we didn't know the dates and time. Yeah.
Now you're excused. Can you give us the response to all his
Well,
said?
let me put it this way. I've heard people say, I want a TDH guy, tall, dark, and handsome guy.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I say, you know what? It just happens. I didn't ask God for a TDH husband. When I married my husband, I wasn't a Christian. I didn't see what people were saying as TDH. Excuse me, I just saw him as Tunji.
Yeah. And even has a T.
Yeah.
For a name.
You know. And he was a fun guy. He is still a fun guy. He could make me laugh. He was taking me to places I never knew existed. The fact I'm Benin, don't worry, I'm used to all that. I'm proudly Benin. He had a lot of fun friends too. And I remember a friend of his, who is like a brother to him now. First time he met me, he said, you know you're going to get married? I said, cut it off. He said, but you know you're his wife? I said, we are not getting married. I'm just having fun. So I think because that wasn't there was no pretense. So I could lay the way it was. You are coming this weekend? No, I'm not available. We were friends. We could talk. He would ask me for opinion on issues. I would give him. And I remember at a point in time I was going through a particular difficult moment, and he came over to my house. And for like 2 hours, my husband has a gift of listening. And I had the gift of talking.
So you complimented.
Oh, yeah. So he sits and then he's listening to me. And I talk on and on and on for well over an hour. And I say, you know what? I've been talking. Do you want to respond? He said, you are just such a friend and such a mother and such a sister. I think we should get married. Oh. And I said to him, you mean after everything I have said, what you answer is, let's get married? I don't think you're a serious guy. I don't think you really needed counsel. I think you should just go. Because I'm not ready to marry.
So when did it happen?
And that was it. And from there, the next thing I knew, his friends were calling me, oh, so when is the date? In fact, Chris Anukam, the same guy through whom we met, this is 9 years after dating, came to my office and said, Charlie baby, I hear he has proposed. I said, who? He said, no, cut it off. We are doing this wedding. And then one thing went on. In fact, my wedding was like, are you sure you're the one getting married? It was just like a joke. It was fun. I didn't have a white wedding though. So I didn't walk down the aisle.
Oh, you didn't?
I walked down my father's living room.
Oh, good. That's an
traditional wedding.
That's an eye. Yeah. Well, obviously you've had good times together. I mean, you talked about touring around Nigeria, probably beyond the shores of the country, I guess. So you've had good times together. I want you to please share some of those fond memories you've had together in the course of your marriage.
When we go on family holidays, for my husband, it is a no expense paid holiday. Okay, he does the fun things, really. My children will tell you, mommy is boring. Yeah, they think so. I know I'm not. Okay, because my husband is the pizza, burger, chicken pepper, ice cream. Hello, I'm not going to use my money to buy those things. Okay, and then the children take after him. So when we travel, they are going to the pizza place. I'm looking for where can I get Eba to eat. So that Benin thing comes up again. And then he goes, we understand this. And my children just say, mommy. And I say, well, you go with daddy, Now those are fun things. My husband is the one who are going on family holidays. He looks for the adventurous things. And then maybe we're going to the safari, for example, went to Dubai. I'm in the car all screaming, all scared, and he just makes the family have fun. I'm thinking, this money, if you give it to me, I'm going to just do some business with it and turn it over. And it's fun memories is more of with my husband and children, going out for dinner, going on holidays together, our son's graduation, my daughter's matriculation. Those are memories.
Well, viewers, it's still two of a kind. We'll be right back after this short break. Please don't go anywhere. We are going on to the tough questions now. Not too tough, really. I mean, it's a moment of truth, and we're keeping it real on two of a kind. So can you tell us the challenges you've encountered, in the course of your marriage?
Yes, I think in the course of this discourse, I did mention to you that there is a transition in life. From when you have your wife all to yourself and you can do whatever, then children begins to come and you have to share the love and the attention. And I said, then comes a time when they will exit your home either by way of going to boarding houses and getting, graduated and you go and serve and then get married. Then your wife becomes yours and you get total attention on again. Now, how do you marry that bridge of, when you don't get all of our attention? That is where a lot of men have challenges, and that's where marriages do really, really get challenged. And of course, there is only one solution to that, and that is to have the heart of God.
So, madam, what would you say is your own browse in this context?
In terms of
challenges?
Financially, I have been challenged. In bed, I have been challenged, and that has to do with what he's talking about. You see, for a man and a woman, we got to realize that the chemistry and the biology is different. There's a time to rear children, and somehow it's not very easy to be able to, it's not easy at all to combine everything together at a time. But like he said, thank God for grace. Challenges in terms of, oh my God, raising the children is one of the biggest challenges of marriage. Because for me, if my children fail, I fail. And that drives me. My son calls me a mother hen. But to the glory of God, my children discuss 90% of what goes on in their life with me. I'm not going to kill myself and say 100. Hello.
Hi.
Now that didn't take a day's job. That took depriving myself of so much, losing friends as I go. Having to let go a whole lot of things.
You've talked about the challenges you've had in the course of your marriage, and I'm sure there are some things or aspect of him you'd like to change if you had the opportunity. Can you tell us what those aspects would be?
Well, I guess one of those things, I'm an emotional person, and I am I like you to show affection. Okay, my husband is stiff. Hello.
Hi.
When I say to my husband, why don't you just say I love you? He said, well, if I didn't love you, I won't marry you. I say, well, just say I love you. Okay, I wish he could say that more often. Say that often enough. Because you have to beg him to say that. I wish he could give me more cash. What else do I wish? I wish he could let me travel alone more often. My husband wants me by him all the time. Sometimes I'm like, a little break. I want to breathe. I want to eat my eba in the morning. I want to eat my rice in the morning. He doesn't like those things. So, when I'm alone, when he travels, I eat eba in the morning. I'm Benin. I'm down to earth. I'm traditional. He wants the table all set up, all
designed and programmed.
First course, second course, fruits.
I can see that. Is that a
and I wish he could let me be sometimes with my weight. You need to lose weight. Your tummy is flabby. I wish he could just let me be me. Because sometimes early morning exercise, which he is perfect at, even though I introduced him to it, sometimes I just want to rest. And my husband goes, up. It's time for the exercise. So gradually, I follow him. I wish you could just relax a bit. I won't be fatter, don't worry.
So what are the things you'd like to change about her? It's your turn now.
I don't like her eating starch. For example, I don't like that thing. I know what it does to cloth. And then you swallow.
It's a psychological thing.
Well, you may say so, but
you shouldn't have told him that.
I see the thing now, one yellow thing like that. I see it occasionally.
And he doesn't like it, but my children love it.
Aside from the issue of starch, if there is one major thing that I would like her to change, is shouting.
I was waiting.
Shouting.
I was waiting.
But Enya said that you are very good at listening and she's very good at talking. So
I also shout.
Complimenting each other.
Talk is wonderful. In fact, one of the major reasons that endeared me to my wife was communication ability. She can communicate with me. She knows how to talk to you for you to see reason around the issue. Why you should go right or go left. Talking is different from shouting. I see, for example, one of the domestic staffs misbehave. Yes, you have a responsibility to correct, but you don't have to shout. If my daughter is downstairs, don't shout her name. I have put PABX in the house. Use the phone, call, don't scream their name.
Gets to you.
That's where I say this Benin thing. That's how it comes. You don't have to shout. You can even send somebody. Even the PABX doesn't work anymore. She makes sure it doesn't work because she has to shout. And for me, it's nauseating. It creates an imbalance in my hormone, and I just don't think it is right. Even if it is not right, it is wrong. Let us say it is not. Let's say it is right. It is not right. It is wrong. To shout is pollution.
I'm going to ask a question, not verbally, but with a paper. I expect you to read it.
I know this.
You do? Can you scribble it down?
I said it this morning. My husband goes through. Those things are not essential to him.
So maybe from now onwards he would probably pay more attention to details. So the whole hula baloo is on the color of your toothbrush. What's the color of the toothbrush? The question is actually
it's white and it has some purplish or bluish thing around it.
No, we want you to be exact. This is a
The
toothbrush.
brush, okay, you have the stick.
Okay.
The stick is the one I'm referring to as white. The tip itself is blue, and some strands of white.
You deserve a round of applause. Let's give it to
You, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm still looking.
Yeah. You know.
The brush I use, I have to know such things.
What's the color of my toothbrush?
Okay.
The color of your toothbrush is similar to mine. It just has some brownish. The tip itself is brownish, but it has some brownish and white. But the stick is white.
Oh, so he got it right. In fact, you people are
I'm surprised.
fantastic couple. So, what advice? I mean, from your experience so far, what advice would you be giving to couples who are probably going through challenges and those who are also looking towards getting married someday?
My advice to married couples is to know that in every marriage there will be conflicts. Now, don't kid yourself. So a happy home is not a home without conflict. A happy home is a home that has conflicts and the ability to resolve that conflict amicably and move on. You know, if you are going to, don't delude yourself to say we would not have a disagreements. Don't delude yourself to think everything is just going to go straight on. Well, I think that will even lack flavor. But the ability to just overlook and move on. You know, looking back, I remember when I hear older couples talk and you ask the woman, what is your advice? And they say patience. In fact, I had to learn that word in Yoruba, suru. Mm-hmm. And I just said, why does everybody just say patience, patience, patience? Asa said in her song, why do you have to be old to become wise? Okay? So I want to say this. I concur with my mothers in marriage to say what you need is patience. After all, a sickness that has no cure will need patience. Marriage is a school you cannot pass out of. So patience. In everything. In raising the children, patience. In tolerating yourself, patience. In understanding yourself, patience. In loving your husband and understanding him, patience. That's the key word. Patience. Because sometimes financially it is there. Sometimes it is not. If you are patient, it will come back. Alright? So bottom line is patience.
Alright, that's a very good analysis. So sir, what would be your own view?
For the younger ones who want to get married, marry somebody because it's your friend. When you marry somebody who is your friend, you begin to love the internal, not necessarily the external. To the extent that as the external begin to depreciate, the internal begins to appreciate. And that is the person you are going to be in love with, the internal. You know, so let's watch it. Money, beauty, all those things are ephemeral. They will come, they will go. They can again come back. So are you going to be falling
in and out
of love? I think the answer is no. So for our younger ones, don't look at Mr. and Mrs. Ola, come to their house and you say, I want to start my marriage like that. No, we didn't get to where we are today. It's a gradual build-up. Look for a friend and begin a build-up also. And it's all a matter of time. Be patient. You too will get there.
Yes, thank you so much for the advice. But we're going to do one thing. Please, do us this honor, and do her this special honor of expressing your heartfelt feelings for her.
For the benefit of this program, I'm saying it for all that cares to listen. I love my wife very, very much, and I love you very much. This is not a pretense. You know, I'm not a pretentious person. There is no vacancy in this marriage. It's only me and her, and end of discussion. And we may, if you don't want to edit this is fine, because I'm going to kiss her for 10 minutes.
No! Why?
Maybe you want me to show love.
Please.
That's not how to show love. Don't say I love you.
Are you
10 minutes or nothing. If it's 10 minutes,
their take will finish.
No, they take. So we are waiting for that. We are waiting for that case, please.
must I do that publicly?
Oh,
you said you were going to do it.
You may kiss the
It's for
bride.
10 minutes.
Yes.
Don't edit this.
Okay.
This must be on here.
Oh, lovely. So, what would you have to tell him? I mean, it's two of a kind.
Tunji, I call you Olowo Rimi.
Yes, ma'am.
I love you very much. You're very special to me. I want to say thank you. Thank you for tolerating me because, I'm a burden. Thank you for understanding me. Thank you for being such a wonderful father. And for being such a such a good husband. You are reliable. The children see you as very dependable, and I agree with them. You're absolutely responsible to the marriage, committed totally, and I appreciate that a lot. I love you. I would not have wished for someone else. In those moments when I really let go, I'm sure you know that deep down, sometimes I need to put up a face so that I can get a check, but by and large, I love you very much, honey.